Some critics are still grumbling today about what they call a lack of an Easter message from President Obama. The White House usually issues a statement or observance of some kind on other religious holidays like Ramadan and Passover. The president signing at least 8 of those in the last few months. But not for Easter Sunday, Christianity's most sacred holiday. When questioned by reporters yesterday, Press Secretary Jay Carney brushed off the question.
Just a quick question. You guys traditionally put out statements or proclamations on various religious holidays, and I don't think I saw one from the president on Easter yesterday. I was just wondering if there's any reason one didn't go out.
The president went to church yesterday. It was well covered. I'm not sure if we put out a statement or not, but he obviously personally celebrated Easter with his family and went to church to celebrate that. And
Wait a minute, the highest Christian holiday, and you don't know if you put out a statement? Jay, come on. Was a statement? No problem.
I'm glad you're asking these key, important questions, guys. The fact is the president took his family to church in a very high-profile way to celebrate Easter. I think it was highly visible to most Americans, and he, as a devoted Christian, he believes it's very important holiday for him personally, for his family, and for Christians around the country.
So is this a fair issue to be raising or not? Let's talk about it and debate it with Lars Larson, a syndicated radio host, and Juan Williams, a Fox News political analyst. Gentlemen, welcome to you both.
Good to see you, Shane.
Good morning.
All right, Juan, I want to start with you. You know, the president and White House often seem very frustrated about these polling numbers that come out that show a significant number of Americans question the president's faith and wonder whether he's truly Muslim, even though he says again and again he is a Christian. So is it fair for the White House to take a little heat that he didn't step up and be more vocal on Easter?
Well, I don't think so. The only way that it's fair is in the context of so many people, as you said, having this misperception that he is some kind of, hidden Muslim, that he's really some, Machiavellian candidate who has been, Manchurian candidate, I should say, who's been put in place and he's hiding his true faith and true colors. That's the only way this story makes sense, Shannon, because on the face of it, he's not the preacher-in-chief, he's the commander-in-chief, and we don't need the politicians in this country to celebrate Easter. I'm a Christian, and I'm not looking to him to tell me how to, worship.
And Lars, he did have an Easter prayer breakfast last week. The family did very prominently go to church. They released pictures of him there on Easter. Is that not good enough?
Shannon, don't go, listen, you're not carrying water for the president. And let me be critical. I'm surprised that Juan and I disagree on this. The president of the United States is the public face of this country. This country has a deep tradition in Christianity, although it's a pluralistic country that welcomes all. And yet, why is it that the president somehow seems to forget about the highest Christian holiday and remembers all the rest of them, including made-up, phony, baloney ones like Kwanzaa? Now, that's, I think, just wrong. This president, and the fact that his spokesman comes out and laughs it off as, oh, this isn't a big deal. It is a big deal when the President of the United States fails to recognize this major Christian holiday, but seems to remember all the rest of them. I'm with Juan. I mean, the fact is that we joke a lot about whether or not the President shows a whole lot of deference to Muslims and seems to forget Christians. And, of course, his own past is with a church that seemed to be, focused around hating America. But all that aside, the President should have recognized Easter like he recognizes other holidays, or don't recognize any of them at all. He's not doing a good job as the public face of America, as usual.
And Lars, we cannot take a swipe, though, at other people's religions about Kwanzaa. I mean, it's very important to a lot of people in this country who do celebrate that. So, to be fair, we have to...
Kwanzaa was invented by a guy who tortured women with a soldering iron, went to prison. My goodness.
We're not going to get into that. It is a holiday for a lot of people that means something very, very different than that. So we want to respect that and respect that in this debate. Juan, I want to turn to you, though, because Lars has some points there about the president recognizing a lot of other holidays. He has held a state dinner tied to Ramadan, a very important Muslim holiday, but again, it seems to be something that just invites criticism.
Well, it invites criticism from people who think, he's paying more attention to Islam than he might be to Christianity, although, as you pointed out, Shannon, yes?
Lars wants to know if he is.
Isn't he paying more attention? I think he is paying more attention. Why is that?
Listen, I think that you have a geopolitical situation where we, as Americans, know that terrorism has a key Muslim or Islamic component, and we have had to deal with it and try to repair relations with much of the Islamic world, Lars. So what you have is a situation where there's political content and import to these gestures made by the American president. We are a mostly
but
Christian
Juan,
nation.
listen.
He doesn't have to say to us, oh, Christianity is important.
But, buddy, you know that I love you on my show when you come on, Juan, and I love you like a brother, but this is baloney. The president goes over and bows down to leaders of Muslim countries, and then he disses Easter in his own country. That's just not reasonable.
I don't think he dissed anything. And remember, this is a president who goes to the National Prayer Breakfast every year, celebrates Christianity in a very public way, Lars.
All right, gentlemen.
You think if you forget?
Quickly, Lars, we'll let you wrap it up.
I just think this is ridiculous. The president knows this, and I'll bet somebody on his staff said to him, Mr. President, do you want to send out an Easter message? If not, he's got an incompetent staff. He had to say, no, we're not sending out an Easter message. Don't tell me that White House did not have somebody bring it up and say, we should send out a message on Easter. The answer to that must have been a no. It's the dog that didn't bark in this case.
All right.
Well, I wish they had sent it.
The White House would say that he did send the message by going to Easter services. It's not a debate we will end today, but gentlemen, we thank you for having it. Fair and balanced.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Shannon.